All right, guys, we are back. The one and only OSB podcast show. I am Scott Matthews. We have an action-packed show this week. I am joined by my two co-hosts. Let me introduce you to the one and only, the big kahuna of OSB, Tommy D, and the man himself, the Sports Profit CEO, Mr. Teddy Brooks. What's up, guys?
What's happening, Scotty?
All good.
You guys, what's going on? A lot of exciting shit going on right now in the sports world. I can tell you that, between Taylor Swift, which I think you want to talk about a little bit, college football, Major League Baseball. This is a good time of the year. Anything you guys want to, anything on your chest you want to start before we get into it?
I think we should give the floor to Tommy. He's been dying to talk. I don't know what else there is to say, but let's...
I always follow the sports betting markets. New York gave Prize Picks and Underdog the boot.
All right.
And I side with the regulators on this one. Prize Picks says we're not a gambling company. We're a fantasy company. Well, you're taking parlays. So you're taking bets. DraftKings, FanDuel obviously probably had their people get the sewing in the state of New York. And it reminds me of the Godfather movie when Don Corleone sits down where we're going to talk about getting into the drug business, and he says, you have all the blank congressmen in your pocket. Well, obviously, DraftKings has congressmen probably in their pocket.
We got deep pockets, man.
They don't like competition, and they booted him out. Florida booted him last week. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a trend. These fantasy companies are trying to get into the betting market without licenses. So I side with the regulators on this one.
Now, are they going to fight? Are they going to fight against the big boys and try to get themselves back in the picture there? Or what are you hearing from them?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually against Tommy on this one, because if you think about it, that's how FanDuel and DraftKings got their start.
100%.
They embedded themselves into this industry, and now what they do is
them riled up.
Yeah,
man.
because they take over. They switched all the players that they had playing fantasy. They just switched their accounts right to sports betting when it became legal. I don't like it.
Yeah. Should be the Baskin-Robbins theory,
31 flavors, right.
Why should it be a few only?
And here's the thing. New York and Florida have the two of the more crooked sports betting operations. Florida has the Seminole monopoly,
yep.
And New York, their taxes are so high on the sports books that the sports books can't even survive.
51%.
51%. Think about this. New York taxes 51%, Jersey taxes 15%.
When I used to borrow money on the street in New York, I was getting a better deal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Come on, a guy like you could never borrow money. You got more money than all of us.
Well, yeah. Well,
the big kahuna's he's got briefcases in front of us, guys. Don't let him fool you.
And just one other thing, I'm searching for a line. Will Taylor Swift be at the Chiefs game this Sunday?
She's 2-0. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah, well, the NFL is shilling. She's shilling for the NFL. My theory is, and it's pretty ingenious, NFL wants more women to come into the market to watch NFL and thus bet. That she's obviously one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Does she know
biggest?
Does she know anything about football? Is she even dating this dude, Kelsey? Who cares? But we'll see.
They're dating. They're dating. They're definitely dating. But listen, I think it's great. I mean, anything that could bring attention, a good, positive way. She's positive. I mean, there's nothing bad about her at all. She's, she is what she is. She's a superstar. She's bringing a lot of attention to the game. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on this one are the type of thing that
don't get them started.
Yeah,
they're the type of thing that gets you banned on YouTube. So I'm just gonna say this: look at the commercials Kelsey has been in lately, and then look at that, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm shutting up on this one.
That's a good lead-in, Ben. You got to roll the tape of Sunday night, because Best Buy on Monday, they went up over 5,000% on new television sets because of this one play. Guys, check this out. How many millions of dollars rode on this slide in the sports betting world on Sunday night by Patrick Mahomes? Oh, boy. You going in? No, you're not going in, are you?
Wow.
How about that, guys? To end the game like that, it cost people the total. It cost people the side. Made people happy as well.
Made Vegas happy. Made the sports books happy.
I'm just curious how many television sets went out, like the 10th floor windows, and were thrown in the streets that night.
85% of the public was on Kansas City in that game.
Oh, the books made that line. They lured you right in.
That would have covered and went over if he scored, right?
Exactly. Instead, it went Jets and under.
Wow.
How about that, guys? That's incredible. All right, well, listen, we got a busy show. I bring you guys here for a reason, so we can kick some ass with some sports picks. And we've got a Thursday night. Again, another Thursday night. Not the most exciting game, but maybe in your, what you guys looking at, maybe it is. We have the Chicago
Bears.
0-4. Yeah, of course. Chicago Bears haven't won a game, winless, 0-4 against the Washington Commanders, 2-2. Thursday night game. Current line, Washington is 5.5, and I believe the total is about 44 points. I'm going to start with Ted. Ted, any opinion, on that game for for Thursday?
This is going to be a real light bet, but I have to give a prediction because I am undefeated on Thursday night so far, so I got to keep that going.
4-0.
And you went against us for the first time last week. Oh, man. All right.
I got crushed.
It's okay.
3-1, though. Not bad.
Yeah. So what we're going to do this week is go back to what I did with a Dallas game last Sunday, which is another teaser. These are two teams that have very, very bad defenses. The Bears have the 31st ranked defense. Commanders have the 27th ranked defense. Commanders are allowing the 8th most yards per carry. And the Bears have a pretty solid running back. I don't like the Bears. They suck. I mean, they're terrible. They're 0-6 against the spread in the last 7, 1-6 against the spread against Washington. I'm teasing the Commanders and the over in this game, bringing the Commanders to +1 and the total to 38. So I'm going over 38, two really bad defenses.
A 6-pointer or a 7-pointer?
This is going to be a...
Current line 6, by the way, on that game.
Oh, it's 6 now?
It's showing 6.
So that's going to be a 7-pointer right there. The total should be around 45, 44.
44.5 right now.
So then it brings the total to 37.5 instead of 38, and it brings the Commanders to +1. I think the Commanders win the game, and I think these defenses are going to give up some points.
Okay. Big kahuna, man. Thursday night, perfect 4-0 record. Got to give props to Teddy. I'm 3-1 on Thursdays this year. You guys have beaten me, but I'm looking to come back to get you. What do you like in that game Thursday night?
Bears 0-4 winless. Actually, if you go back from last year, I believe they're 0-14. So they obviously have a terrible win record here. But, the Bears, I think, are underrated. I think the Commanders are overrated. They have a short week since they played last week in the Eagles here. Mm-hmm. And I like the Bears plus the points here. I mean, I think they could play them tough here. And once again, the Commanders does have a weak defense. And Bears got to win sooner or later. I'll grab the 5.5 points. I just think the public's going to be all over the Commanders.
It's +6, by the way.
All right, I'm gonna.
You want to buy it up? No.
Well, you could buy it up to 7 then, and I just think the Bears hang in there and may not win the game, but I'm taking them as the dog.
Okay, you heard it from Teddy. You heard it from the Big Kahuna. Now let's talk a little strategy here. I think Justin Fields has a huge game in this game. I just been feeling this is right for him to have a huge game. I have a feeling he's going to go over the passing yards. I'm using a player prop. I'm going to go over the passing yards for Justin Fields in this game. I don't like the game. I think this game is too tight of a number. I don't like the matchup as far as to make a selection on the game. But I am making a player prop. I look for a big game from Justin Fields throwing the ball, because I think they're going to force him to throw, and I think he's going to have a big game. He needs to showcase somehow, some way. He's been dead wood, and I think this is the time he's going to showcase tonight on that Thursday night game. So I'm going over the passing yards on Justin Fields, guys. That's my play on the Thursday night game. Anything? What's your thoughts on this Justin Fields?
I think in a different system he could be a little bit better.
He's a talent.
I'm not totally against him, but he's got to do something. And the thing about the Bears is they actually, if you look at the numbers, they have a good running offense.
Yep.
They're ranked 5th in yards per carry running the ball. I mentioned they have Khalil Herbert. He's a solid running back. He got over 100 yards last week. So
they got talent on the team.
It's not like they don't have talent. It's not like they don't have a good running back and a good run game. So if Fields is going to make something happen, this is the team to do it against, these Commanders with a not very good defense. If he can't do it against the Commanders, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Houston,
they call it Houston. We got a little problem.
Yeah.
Anything? What's your take on Justin Fields? I don't know if you're following him that closely.
I don't.
Second round pick.
I concur what you're saying there, but the defenses. Neither team has a good defense on this. So if he's gonna blow up, he could blow up against the Commanders on Thursday.
I just think they're going to force him to throw the ball a little more. I think he's
Right.
going to mix it up between run. This guy's got talent on his feet. I mean, this guy's quick as lightning. But I just think for some reason they're going to get a game plan of him throwing the ball a little bit, opening up that running game. Because like Teddy said, they got some talented players on that team, on wide receivers, running game. I mean, they put it all together. I don't know if the coaching is just that terrible. Excuse my friend, that bad. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know what it is.
He came out and publicly criticized the coaching,
Right.
so that's pretty interesting
Yeah.
there. Before we move on from Thursday, I have a college if you guys want to hear it.
Why not? Let's hear it.
So we're
People
looking
want to
at
hear it, Ted.
Western Kentucky is playing Louisiana Tech. I'm a Hilltoppers guy. I've been riding them for the last couple, or last year and this year a little bit. They're 6-3 against the spread on the road in the last 9. This quarterback, Austin Reed, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1,300 yards. You got 70% of the bets on Louisiana Tech, and Louisiana Tech's quarterback is questionable. He didn't play in the big game last week. He's questionable this week.
Okay.
And
6.5 line on that game right now for Western Kentucky.
6.5.
on the road.
I'm buying a half a point, taking Western Kentucky at the -6.
Okay.
This Louisiana Tech.
Strong play or just a regular?
No, this is a pretty strong play for me. I like this one. This is my biggest play of Thursday, bigger than the teaser in NFL.
I think we should jump in. There's some great matchups on Saturday. I think we
Well,
should go right into it.
I do have a play on Friday I'd like to throw
okay.
out there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a household game, but Liberty, Sam Houston. Now, this Liberty, they have an unbelievable college football program. It's not a household name, but they are 4-0 against the spread this year. They're 4-0. They're playing a Sam Houston team that is just not a good team at all.
What day is that on?
That is Friday. The line's 19.5. The total's 48.5. I think it's a low total because Sam Houston may not score.
That game's actually Thursday.
Oh, is it Thursday?
Yeah.
I don't
Thank
see
you.
it on Friday.
All right, correction.
Confusing me there, Big
All right,
Governor.
Thursday. Thank you. I'm looking for Liberty to blow out Sam Houston.
I think he's got Friday's newspaper. That's why he's putting it
I
on.
wish I did. No, but I see Liberty. They have an explosive offense, this team.
Okay.
And I just think
19.5, 45.5 on the total.
Liberty, I think, blows them out, maybe 35-7.
Well, you got a 4-0 team going against an 0-4 team. Somebody's got to go.
And Liberty has covered on every game this year.
Okay.
And they're just blowing out their opponents. So I think poor Sam Houston is just not going to show up.
Sam Houston's going to go back to Houston or wherever they're going with another loss. All right, listen, we got an amazing Saturday of games. Wow. And probably one of the key games, if not the key game, is that big rivalry between Oklahoma, undefeated, ranked 12th in the nation, going against the Texas Longhorns, who are 5-0, undefeated as well. Somebody's O, as they say, is definitely going to go in this game. It's always been a tremendous matchup, no matter what the records are. You throw them out. I'm going to start with you, Tommy. Is there anything you have on this game, or are you passing on this one?
No, I'm not looking for the big games there.
Okay.
Great to watch. But how about this one? North Carolina, Syracuse. All right, line is 8.5. North Carolina's favorite. I think that line is just way, way too high. You have two teams that are playing really, really good football right now. All right, they're both 3-1 against the spread this year. I think Syracuse forces North Carolina's quarterback to throw the ball. He's had some issues this year throwing interceptions. The line is 8.5 points. Syracuse covers this game at the end.
Actually, this line, just again, guys, I want you. Sorry to cut you off, Big Kahuna. I want you guys to understand we're putting these shows out days ahead of time, so there are changes on these numbers. But as we're doing it, 3 days before the games, the current line on the game is North Carolina 9.5
Wow,
against
it moved.
Syracuse.
It just moved. It was 8.5 this morning.
Yeah,
Right.
I think the public is wrong on this one. Syracuse has a good team. I think it's way too many points. I'm going to take the Orangemen plus the 9.5.
So I actually have a selection on this game.
Okay.
And then we can go back to the Texas-Oklahoma game.
No problem.
Because that was the game you wanted to talk about. But I was on, when I saw this line at 8, I bought it to 7 and played it. Now 9.5, it's a little bit different. But you're talking about a North Carolina team that's blowing teams out. Drake May, their quarterback that Tommy said is having some issues this year compared to last year. He was a Heisman candidate going into the year, and he's had some struggles. It's the best has yet to come for him. I think he starts to improve every week, and I think he's going to start this week. North Carolina has a balanced attack, and that quarterback is better than how he's playing. So if Drake May steps it up, they blow Cuse out of the water. And the other thing is, North Carolina always has trouble with Appalachian State. That's the one team that they didn't cover the spread against this year. But Appalachian State beat North Carolina last year outright.
Yeah.
They have trouble with that team, but I think they bounce back. And North Carolina's coming off of a little bit more rest than Syracuse. I think North Carolina wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to lean with the Big Kahuna on this game. I think the dog is alive in this game because I got to be honest with you. I mean, I know they're 4-0. So far in North Carolina. But, they played a couple of decent teams, but, Pittsburgh is real shit, to be honest with you. I don't see Pittsburgh being much of anything. I don't like their quarterback. I don't like the way they've been playing. Syracuse lost their only game to Clemson. Clemson was flying high for that game. So, that was an obvious play that could happen. I think Syracuse stays in this game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is less than 6 points. And as of right now, I would get this line to double digits. I would buy this line up as we're speaking and make this game a plus 10.5 point game. I think Syracuse stays in it, backdoor covers, whatever they got to do, but they're going to stay in this game, and I think this game's going to be decided by less than 5 or 6 points. I'm going to ride with you on that one, Big Kahuna.
Let's do it.
I think you got the right side of that game. All right, listen, I really want to get an opinion from. I know Teddy's going to have a huge opinion on these big kind of marquee games like this one, and we're talking about the top teams in the country here, Oklahoma and Texas. I have a strong play on this game. I was just curious what you're thinking.
You look at the history. Texas blew them out of the water last year. Oklahoma won in a big fashion, a big shootout, I should say, close, but a big shootout the year before. Both of these teams, very good teams.
Undefeated, 5-0
Texas
each.
has the Alabama win. You look at Oklahoma, they're covering spreads, but they don't really cover spreads when they play Texas, right? And some of their competition, looking at it here, Tulsa, Cincy, SMU, Texas, you got, Bama, Kansas, just blew Kansas out of the water. Now, what's interesting about that is Kansas's quarterback was hurt. Kind of no one really knew about it going into the game. It was a last-minute thing, so he didn't play. I think that affected it a little bit. I would not bet big on this, but I would have to lean at home, Texas winning this game by a touchdown. The line's a little bit big for my liking, but I would have to lean with the favorite here.
Any opinion? It's a big game. They want to hear big games from you, Big Kahuna. I got to squeeze it out of you.
They want big games, but sometimes big games are not the best games to bet here. So I'm going to save. I'm going to let you guys take over a little college. I'm saving the
Who's
two best
Scotty
for
like
Sunday.
in this one?
Yeah, let's
I
hear
love
what you
this
like.
game. Love this game. I'm making this game a 20-unit selection. I haven't done that all year. I am jumping on the dog in this game big time. I think Oklahoma gets the job done. They go in there and they look to run it up, and I believe they have a shot of winning this game straight up. And I would jump on this game at plus 7.5, because I would adjust the number. It may even come down. But this number is short for me. I think Oklahoma's the right way to go. I think they're gearing for this game. They just put 50 up against Iowa State. Texas has been playing great. Both of these teams are playing on all cylinders right now, but it's a rivalry, and you throw everything out the window when it comes to a rivalry game. And when these two teams are looking at each other face to face, I'm looking for Oklahoma to get the job done in this game. I think they have a shot to win it outright. I wouldn't play it on the money line, but I would take this game to +7, 7.5. This is a huge, huge play for me.
Big play, and one thing about this game, I'm a UCF guy, so it hurts me to see Dylan Gabriel doing so well, leaving UCF, going to Oklahoma. He's great. Quinn Ewers is great. Two Heisman, not front runners, but they're in the talks. They're in the race. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to come down to who plays better quarterback.
Yeah, well, this is a showcase game for sure.
Great game.
12 o'clock Eastern time on national television. Number 3 against number 12. You throw all that out, means nothing when these two teams play head-to-head. All right, let's move on with some other games on Saturday. I have a couple of opinions on a few things. Anything that you really is a best bet for the audience? Because don't forget, people are tuning into us. They want to see what we feel is our best game.
My favorite game of the week is quite possibly that Western Kentucky game. I am going to mention the Wazoo UCLA game because we were talking about that game before the show. I'm curious to see who you like on it.
I have an opinion on that one.
I am leaning UCLA on this game. First of all, looking at what both teams have done, you look at this line, and Wazoo should be favored in this game. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And sometimes when I look at that, I say, somebody knows something that I don't, and I actually go contrary on that. So it's like, if I look at a game and I think this should be -1 Wazoo, and it's really +3 Wazoo, I'll actually go away from Wazoo, go with UCLA. Their defense is shut down. They've allowed 44 points in 4 games this year. And the thing with Wazoo, and the thing that I don't make a big bet on this game because Wazoo has been the most profitable team in college football since 2021, 19-6 against the spread. That's 76% in the last 2.5 years against the spread. It's tough to bet against this team.
They're playing good ball right now.
They're playing great ball.
Yep.
Cam Ward is fantastic. Both of these teams have rest this week, coming off buys, but I think I'm taking the UCLA here.
You think Chip Kelly's going to get them back? Because they look terrible
if Chip
against
Kelly,
Utah.
If Chip Kelly doesn't win, this is his job's on the line in a lot of ways in this game. I mean, he's potentially losing this team if they don't win this game.
Okay. Anything on Saturday? Best bet.
I'm waiting for Sunday. I have two big plays
Can't
for Sunday.
Can't get the big kahuna to give you a move.
He's
huh?
like a lidded jar.
Tight as a
He's
clam.
like Trump. I think he's a little like Trump. He's just keeping it all in. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother
All
discussion.
right, guys. No disrespect, obviously, Teddy, but I totally disagree with you. I think Washington State's going to get the job done in this game. I think the line is perfect. UCLA should be a favorite at home. They only lost one tough game against the top team in the nation, obviously, in Utah, before they got blown out last week. They were undefeated. I think UCLA should definitely be a favorite at home in this game. I think Washington State right now, the way they're playing on all cylinders, is going to go in there. They got a game plan. Don't forget, UCLA starting a backup quarterback. His first throw of the game against Utah was a pick 6. And Washington State has a defense. They can shut you down. And I think they have the weapons on offense and the type of defense that could definitely cause fits for the UCLA young quarterback. Yeah, UCLA has some good players. Don't get me wrong. Chip Kelly, it is what it is. But I'm looking for Washington State as a live dog in this game. I would be taking that game at about +4, 4.5. I like buying numbers, guys, because I feel that, we're doing these shows early in the week. So you got to understand, I keep saying that to you. Numbers do change, but I want to get the right numbers. I don't want to get the worst of the number. So I would be jumping on definitely Washington State in this game. I just think they're going to be 5-0. They're going to find a way to win this game and be one of the top contenders in the Pac-12. So that's my pick.
They definitely have the better quarterback at the helm right now, too.
Is there anything else that you like on Saturday?
I have a little lean. It's a little bit of a homer pick. I like to pick this team, but I'm going with UCF. I'm sprinkling a little money on them. You got two teams that are playing without their starting quarterback. Jalen Daniels is questionable for Kansas. John Reese Plumlee pretty much out for UCF. Here's my thing. UCF has been playing without John Reese Plumlee for a few weeks now, and I think they have the rhythm. I mean, their offense has been very good without him. It would obviously be better with him. It's been very good without him. Their defense has been the issue. their first two Big 12 games with their move over to the Big 12 hasn't worked out right. They blew a 35-7 lead last week in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was mind-blowing. Their defense is struggling. I think their defense slightly improves this week, and I think Kansas still is getting used to playing with that backup quarterback. I'm going with UCF plus the points. This is one where I'm doing Scotty style here. They're +2. I'm buying it to +3. I want the field goal.
I want to ask you, just off the record, well, if you like it or you don't like it, the number one team in the nation, Georgia, is playing a damn good Kentucky team who's undefeated, who just blew Florida out. Any take on the way Kentucky's been playing this year? They've been playing outstanding. They're going
was it
into
7?
Georgia, 14.5 points.
14.5. There's value there. 2 touchdowns.
That's a big number. Yeah.
I mean, it's Georgia. They're slow starting this year. They almost
Well, they
didn't.
put it together last week a little bit.
Yeah, but they did.
Well, Auburn's a tough, tough
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I would say there's value in Kentucky here.
Kentucky's got a good defense.
I think Georgia wins the game. I think Georgia wins by 7, by 10.
Okay.
14's a lot. I would lean Kentucky here. There's value. They just beat Florida. They're coming off of they're undefeated right now, like you said.
Okay.
So I would lean Kentucky here. And they didn't just beat Florida.
Oh, they destroyed
I mean, they
them.
destroyed them.
I
yeah.
actually use Florida, so I'm kind of ducking people in the street.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I
like,
mean,
what's
they
going
didn't
on
just
with
beat
that pick
Florida.
on Florida?
They destroyed Florida, and
Crushed them.
Wear a hat and sunglasses.
I'm going to have to wear something.
I'm not sold on some of these SEC teams right now. You know I love the SEC, Scotty. I'm not sold on some of them right now. I'm actually
What about Bama?
more sold on Bama mounting.
They
Now
got
they're
that quarterback working.
yeah. Now they're working.
Finally.
Now they're flowing.
Right.
Now they're flowing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens
My
with them.
daughter's happy to hear that. She calls me up, Dad. Don't go against Bama. All right, I won't go against Bama. I'm not making any pick on that game. I got one other play I like on Saturday. I like Boston College against Army. I think BC matches up against teams like this. They play against juggernaut teams. Sometimes they get, they obviously don't show up sometimes. But I think against a team like Army, they can match up really well. And as a 3-point underdog, again, that's the line right now as I'm speaking. I think that's a live dog. I like BC in this game against Army. I think they can beat them the way they match up. I just think that BC's a live play in this game. It's not a huge play for me, but I definitely do like the play. So I'm going to jump on Boston College plus the 3 on that game against Army.
I like
And
that
I'm
one a
done
little
with my
bit.
college.
I like that one a little bit. Army covers a lot of spreads. They're 8-1 against the spread in the last 9, but I don't hate that pick.
Well, I got the big kahuna sitting here in the bullpen. He's been listening to us babble on about college. We're going to go to the NFL. I think there's some nice matchups this weekend. What is your best bet you're looking at for Sunday? Because I know you've been itching to wait for NFL.
It's a game that's going to be right down here in our own backyard. Good old Miami Dolphins. Let me go over this for a second. If you look at the ATS record, the Giants are definitely to play. They've covered 8 out of the last 9 road games, the Giants. The Dolphins have failed to cover the last 10 games in the month of October.
At home?
At
Or
home?
in general?
I believe in general.
Okay.
That being said, the Giants were a national embarrassment on their last game. Daniel Jones has serious issues. The Giants' offensive line cannot block anyone. Dolphins are coming off a loss to Buffalo. I think they definitely have to make a statement here, and I think they're just going to load up at home against a Giant team that is totally in disarray. They're coming off a short week. They definitely have internal issues here. I don't think they're going to be prepared for this game. The Dolphins want to make a statement. They scored 70 in the week before that. I see the Dolphins win by 2 touchdowns here.
You're being. They probably should win by 5.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't see how the Giants.
If they're right, of course.
Giants are going to put any points up. Both defenses have issues up with these teams, but Dolphins are going to come home and make a statement. I think they just blow out the Giants at home.
Yeah, well, the Dolphins, you always know, had problems with Buffalo. So with that game, you can't really worry about that game. But like you say, they're playing a dejected New York Giants. If you watch Daniel Jones coming off the field, how many times was he sacked? 10? I think 10 times he was sacked on that game.
Embarrassment,
Yeah.
actually. So I mean, unless they can get their act together in 4 or 5 days, which I doubt.
Okay.
They're coming down here to Miami.
Is that your best bet?
That's going to be my best bet. I know it's
Current line's 11 on that game.
It's all right. It's 11 points,
right
but
as we speak, of course.
yeah. Well, it's like I said. If you look at the ATS record, the Giants are the play. You can't always go by what's on paper. I think there's a lot of emotion here. Dolphins blow them out.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else on Sunday before we move it to Teddy?
I mean, I got one more game. I mean, Eagles, Rams. Eagles have won their last 11 games on the road. All right. And they've covered 4 of the last games in California. Philly's the type of team that gets the job done. You know,
find ways to win. That's why they're 4-0.
They find ways to win here. The Rams are having a decent season here, but the Rams have lost 8 out of the last 9 against NFC opponents. Okay. Yes, they're on the road. Yes, they're in California. I see them winning by a touchdown. I'm going to take the Eagles minus the 4. My best bet is the Dolphins, though.
All right. Well, we're going to go to the man himself, Mr. Teddy Brooks, NFL. Let's see what he has.
Well, it's
What's
really
on your mind, Teddy?
It's funny you say this because my NFL play of the week are the home dog Rams.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, these teams are very close in yards per play, yards allowed per play.
I'll let you guys fight that one out.
But the Eagles give up the 5th most passing yards per play. Yes, they do find ways to win. Jalen Hurts finds ways to win, but they have not dominated. We have not really seen crazy domination from them. Look what happened last week against the Commanders, who actually want their old name back, I heard.
Oh, boy.
That's
not the Redskins.
They want to be the Redskins again.
Really? Oh, boy.
Supposedly, I don't know. But
what happens? Cleveland Indians wants they want the
we'll
Guardians.
We'll see what happens. But the Rams have the 2nd most pass yards right now. And you got this rookie, Nakua. I think I'm saying his name right. Yeah. He looks great. Guess who's coming back this week? Cooper Kupp.
Oh, there you go.
Cooper Kupp's coming back this week.
The best? He's great.
We're going to see...
You ever see a guy get open like that?
We're going to see the greatest show on turf again, like back in the Kurt Warner days. Yeah. The Rams are going to light them up. I like the Rams +4 at home, and you don't even have to buy it. It's already sitting at a nice line. I like Stafford. As long as the prop is 280, as long as the prop's under 290, I like Stafford over 280, 290-yard prop. So, once again, I don't do a lot of player props. I did it a couple weeks ago with Cousins and Jefferson. That came out good. I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with the over on Stafford prop. I'm all in on the Rams this week.
I gotta ask you guys about the biggest game on the board. We got to talk about it. We got the Dallas Cowboys, 3-1 against San Francisco, 4-0. I mean, this is a meaningful game. This is a huge game. It's on the Sunday night NFL. Any take on that game at all?
Well, once again, great to watch. Meaningful. Is the line pretty much dead on in this one?
3.5.
All right,
San Fran.
Yeah, I think it's in doubt. Take the points on this one.
You know, everyone wants an opinion on that game.
But it's going to be a tight game in my opinion here, and I'm looking for value here when I bet here, and I think that can go either way. It's going to be a great game to watch, but is there an actual side? I'm not so sure about it, but I would side with the points here.
Side laying the points or taking the points?
Taking the points.
You like the Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right, at 3.5?
At +3.5.
That's the line. Again, I don't want to keep saying the same thing, but that is the current line as we're doing this show.
That line won't move off 3.5 much.
It could go a little bit
maybe
at the end.
Maybe a half point.
Got to get an opinion from the opinion man right here.
All Dallas has done this year is beat up on bad teams. New England, the Jets, and the Giants. And they lost to Arizona.
Yep.
The Dallas Cowboys have shown me next to nothing until they beat some good quality teams or some at least mid-level teams. I am not sold. I'm not sold on Dak. I've never have been, especially if that San Fran offense gets up early. Dak does not play well from behind. I think San Fran's a better team. I think Brock Purdy's a better quarterback. I think they have a better defense.
10-0 as a starter since he's come into the league.
I mean,
Brock Purdy, 10-0 regular season.
I'm all over San Fran here. I mean, I don't like really betting primetime games, but if I had to bet this game, my money would definitely be on San Fran. Maybe buy it down, because maybe they win by a field goal. You never know.
Yep.
But I'm all over San Fran. Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo Samuel. The Cowboys do not match up here.
Why is the line only 3.5?
Oh, that's a good number for a game like this. Game like this is, you got two powerhouse teams. I'm actually totally disagreeing with you, Ted, on this one. I'm going with the Cowboys big time in the game. They lost the last 2 in a row to San Francisco. I don't think they're going to want to lose 3 in a row and be down two games in that division, because if San Fran wins, they're 5-0. Cowboys go to 3-2, so they'd fall behind 2 games early in the season. I think that Prescott's going to have a good game. He's going to manage the game well. I think they have enough talent to stay in the game. For some reason, they're going to shake up Purdy a little bit. I think he gets his first loss as a starting quarterback. I like Dallas plus the points in this game. I really feel they're going to come to this game. I think I heard some little conversations, but Jerry Jones, you can't go by him anyways because he's always hyped up about how great his team is. But I think they're coming in focused big time for this game, and I think they're going to want to show their defense off, and I'm going to think that Dak is going to manage the game well enough that they got a shot to take advantage of maybe a mistake they cause on defense or a turnover here and there and win this game somehow, some way. But I would get this line to +4. I would take Dallas. I think this is a 10-unit best bet play for me in that game. I think they show up. I don't think they lose 3 in a row to this team.
I don't even think it's going to be that much of a game. I think that the Eagles-Rams game is really a much more premier NFC game. I think that.
Yeah, no, of course. Listen, but, Sunday Night Football, when you got America's team against San Francisco, undefeated, you know there's going to be a lot of attention on that game.
It's going to be a fun game, yeah.
So, but I think Dallas is coming to play. They're going to show up. So that's
I tend to agree.
By the way, if I don't win one of these big games this week, I think I'm going to come to the show with the same hairstyle that Jimmy Butler did the other day when he went to the press conference. I'm going to try. I don't know if, Ben, you can pull that up for us, but if you saw Jimmy Butler, and the NBA's right around the corner, guys, but take a look at this dude.
October 24th.
I mean, I don't know if I'd look good in that thing. My wife might throw me out. My kids would probably disown me.
And we got hockey starting next week, too.
I don't know what Jimmy's on his mind there. Maybe
he's going crazy because the Heat aren't getting any of these big names that are being tossed out there.
They were kind of laughing at him. They Bam Adebayo. They were doing like a little photo thing there with all the players.
It's not just the hair. He's got lip piercings.
What did Rodman pull 25 years ago?
Rodman's Rodman. There's only one Rodman. But Jimmy Butler's, he's a little eccentric, obviously.
Oh.
All right. Anything else? Listen, before we go, we had a great show. Again, with you guys, I appreciate you being on here. I love the insights. Looking to give you, obviously, the main thing, guys, is we're looking to give you guys out there, the betting world, the edge. Doesn't mean we're going to be right all the time, because we are not right all the time. But when we put out plays, we feel very strongly about what we're doing, and we do our work. We put in a lot of time. Anything you want to add before we go?
No, not usually. I do have something. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're working hard. Time flies when you're making money. It's been we're almost a third of the way through the season of the NFL. We're almost halfway through college football. We've been given some good predictions on this show. I had an off week 2 weeks ago, but hey, it's all about how the chips fall at the end of the year. And now we get into the real heat. Hockey starts October 10th.
Yep, next week.
NBA starts October 24th. And college basketball starts the first week of November. That's when things really heat up, and I'm excited.
All right, while I have you, tell the people where they can find you and get all your great information you put out daily. How can they find you?
Yeah, youtube.com/@thesportsprophets, TikTok @thesportsprophets, Instagram @theprophets_.
Hold on, I can't type it fast. Hold on.
@the_prophets_pick. No S on pick.
All right. Well, we know this guy can be found everywhere. I don't know. Like I said,
those banners right there.
Every time I go
I'm
out,
on a bus stop right here on Federal.
I don't know what's going on with this guy. Tell the audience where they can find you, get all your great information you have working for them each and every day.
My site, you want to check out my site because I do have that odds comparison feed where we have 7 sports books up, regulated books, of course. It's onlinesportsbet.com. Abbreviation, we are OSB Sports. I put out picks every day on Instagram, OSB_sports. And my YouTube, I have literally 8 selections daily, OSB-sports.
I think we should call him the professor of the sports betting world. I think nobody does more homework. If he did his homework in school like he does on these games, he would have been an MIT graduate. That's how good this guy is when it comes to preparing. All right, guys, you can find me every day on my TikTok, which is blowing up, TikTok at SMPicks, SMPicks, PICKS, and on Instagram at SM Sports Picks. Well, it's a pleasure doing this show each and every week. Check out the podcast show on all podcast forums, obviously, that are out there. We do it each and every week. We're looking to give you guys that betting edge with our expertise. Between the three of us, probably over 80 years of experience when it comes to sports betting. So we'll check it out. I'm Scott Matthews. Check it all out. We'll see you back here next week.
All right.
Shouldn't say anything. Talk at the end, it goes.
That